You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Physician reveals stunning factor that may have contributed to Lindsey Graham's death, based on an article by Alexander Willis. Fox turns a death into a foreign policy grievance. Fox News physician Marc Siegel suggested that Sen. Lindsey Graham's frequent long flights to Israel and Ukraine may have contributed to his sudden death, after reports said Graham was taken to the hospital Saturday night and later announced dead by his office. That is the source material. The political meaning is elsewhere. Power does not sit with the body. The key fact is not Graham's health. It is Graham's role. He was a senator, a sustained institutional actor, and one of Congress's loudest defenders of Israel and Ukraine. That is the power position the story actually revolves around: a man with national leverage, a media ecosystem eager to narrate his death, and a broadcaster willing to turn a medical guess into political insinuation. The dead have no agency. The living institutions do. In this case, Fox had the microphone, and Siegel used it to transform a public death into a comment on Graham's foreign engagements. The misdirection is the story. The framing tries to make the senator's travel look like the meaningful cause. That is a sleight of hand. Long flights can be medically relevant. That part of Siegel's speculation is not outrageous on its face. But the editorial move is obvious. Attach Graham's death to his support for Israel and Ukraine, and you quietly convert a personal medical event into a political artifact. That is not analysis. It is narrative laundering. It invites viewers to treat geopolitical commitment as an implausible risk factor and to read foreign policy loyalty as something physically self-destructive, instead of asking what his political power was used to advance. What the story refuses to say. The source lingers on the senator's travel schedule because the detail can be made to do ideological work. It does not ask whether Graham's political alliances serve U.S. democratic interests, war-making interests, donor interests, or his own power coalition. It does not need to. The point is to redirect attention from institutions and decisions to atmosphere and insinuation. That is how political media often works when it wants to avoid accountability. It dresses up speculation as expertise and leaves the audience with a mood instead of a clear chain of responsibility. A familiar media trick. This is a standard coward's move. Keep the powerful human enough to mythologize, but not accountable enough to analyze. A senator with major influence becomes a personality. A policy record becomes a travel itinerary. A death becomes an occasion for soft focus commentary and coded suggestion. The result is not clarity. It is political noise that flatters the viewer into thinking they have been told something profound when they have mostly been handed a distraction. The larger pattern. The deeper pattern is simple. Elite institutions frequently turn consequential political lives into personal morality tales, because personal stories are easier to sell than power analysis. Fox does this routinely. It prefers a frame that feels like explanation but functions like misdirection. When media channels turn a senator's death into speculation about his flights, they are not illuminating public life. They are obscuring the machinery that made him influential in the first place. That machinery, not the cabin pressure, is what deserves scrutiny. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article. With the automated voice of Sam, thanks for listening.